I know that many companies such as yours love to brag about their corporate social responsibility. So tell me, Mr. Peart, what are some of the charities that you support at Mayberry?
Well, I think the key one that we are involved with over the years is the Mayberry Swim event for prep and primary schools.
Right?
We do that annually.
How long has that been going on?
It's been going on for over 10 years now. It's
And
been
you cover the entire Ireland, or
No,
it's
it's a
just
swim meet held at the National Stadium,
right?
and it's primarily the prep and primary within the corporate area. There are other schools that will participate from outside of the corporate area, depending on their ability to do so. But it has allowed us to reach out to kids of that age and also the parents.
Uh-huh.
And it has redounded to our benefit. I think the other program that we do that you speak about bragging, but we actually don't speak a lot about these things, and this is especially one. But again, it's very rewarding. Is we're part of a group that annually carried on a group of cardiologists, and they would operate on kids that have a hole in their heart.
So many other companies tend to get involved in that area. I
Right.
really haven't heard of Mayberry's involvement. So
Yeah.
tell me about it. I'm
Right.
curious.
So what has happened is that they come down for about a week or two.
What month of the year?
It depends in terms of how you structure it. And there's always a backlog, unfortunately,
Wow.
of patients that are there. And sometimes, if they don't get the operation in time, they die.
And you take them to Bustamante Hospital for
No, there's
children?
actually there's actually an operating ward up at the UA, up at
Okay.
UA, that I don't think is consistently used. So
Yes.
once they come down, they have access to that.
So how many children do you reach every year?
I think it's between 30 and 50. But
Wow.
the most amazing thing is that on the face of it, when you speak about a hole in the heart, it's really a little gap.
I
And
know.
when you see the kids before the operation, you can see that this is a child in distress. And I mean, they range from like a couple months to 5, 6, 7 years old. But what's amazing, I went up there once, and to actually meet with the doctors, etc. And they had just completed an operation, and so when I walked into the theater, because they had finished for the day, I walked in the theater to speak to the doctor. When we turned around, we heard one of the kids crying.
Yes.
So when I turn around, I see this. I don't think he was more than like 2 or 3 years old,
Yes.
and he is walking out, and he's all strapped up with whatever. And I'm like, "You haven't operated on him as yet?" And he said, "Yeah." The most amazing thing is that the moment you do it,
They feel better.
within like an hour or two, they're just good to go. And I mean, you would never know that that child had a
So
problem.
what's the dollar figure for these two
Um,
charities?
when you run the numbers, I won't speak to what it costs us. But what I'll say to you is, a similar operation in the U.S. can run you up to $100,000.
Wow.
And in terms of the benefit that is created from doing it here, it's almost 10% or
And
less of
and
that
you're
cost.
talking about bringing all these doctors together, flying them in, putting them up in a hotel, taking
Yeah.
care of their expenses,
Right.
and
Right.
then paying for
Right.
the
So
treatment.
I mean, there's a how it's structured. You At the end of the day, the overall cost is a fraction of what it would be if you had to send the child away.
Okay.
And it's not just us alone, but it's done with some other people. But as I said, it's very rewarding because it's easy to sit behind your desk and you see the numbers. You'll hear that you have 100 people that needs to have an operation. It becomes different when you actually see the kids and you're
Yes.
like, listen, there is a need. And I know a lot of people are doing a lot of things, but it speaks to the fact that our health system, etc., it still needs significantly more
That's right.
investments.
So your two primary areas to help then are sports and health.
And primarily education and sports. We have consistently assisted schools.
Yes.
So for this year, for example, we donated, I believe, up to $3 million to the St. George's athletic team.
I see.
And we have other things that we do during the course of
Is
the
that
year.
the alma mater of the Berries?
It's the alma mater of, yes, Chris.
I see. Yes.
So that was a donation for this year. but
Yes.
we continue to work with other entities.
Yes.
Mayberry also has a foundation that is headed by somebody else that, again, they also work with schools and education. And we were involved with certain primary schools in the past. So
Yes.
we continue to do our work.
Yes.
And as I said, it is one of the aspects of the job that becomes very pleasing when you get involved
Yes. You
in it,
must feel
because you
satisfied.
see you see it coming back. So, we don't talk a lot about it. We just do it, and it comes naturally to us because fundamentally our vision is transforming lives positively through lasting relationships.
That's right.
So we spend most of our time building relationships. So corporate social responsibility is just another opportunity for us to
And
build
that's a
relationships.
great place to end. Thank you so much for being my guest on Corporate Coffee Mornings.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. This has been the Gleaners Corporate Coffee Mornings, and I have been talking to Gary Peart, CEO of Mayberry Investments Limited.